I served in the U.S. military for 20 years. I started out in 3rd Ranger Battalion. Go back to the fucking border and fucking fight the cartels. That's what you signed up for. That's what Border Patrol signed up for. They're terrorizing the population. I was just saying, like, one, in Afghanistan, we never wore masks. I went on 4 deployments. The only time we would wear like a face covering, if you're fighting the actual cartels and you're on the border, fine. If you want to protect your identity, it just makes no sense. It's here to intimidate everyone here.
You can help build the only independent news outlet, always on the ground with the people for as low as 16 cents a day.
Corporate media, they've been lying to us for years, and you're going straight to the people.
Flint, Michigan.
Brooklyn, New York.
Government sending one more you to the residents of Chicago.
We need as many independent voices as possible, and that's why what you guys do is so fucking important.
Covering what the corporate media covers up.
That's why we're out here, because one of your fucking jokers fucked up. I don't get off my couch. I'm a fucking retarded. I don't want to be out here. But I saw this fucking protest, and I better come down and at least tell you motherfuckers to think about what the fuck you're doing. You shouldn't be wearing plate carriers. You should have low-vis shit on. You don't need every fucking licky and chewy. Maybe a couple special team guys, but not your frontline guys, the ones that are dealing with the civilian population. We never did that in Afghanistan. We never wore masks either. I wasn't afraid to die. They were trying to kill me. They knew what vehicle numbers I had. But I didn't wear a mask when I went to talk to the population. When I went to work with the civilians, I walked into the Afghan villages without that shit on. Hell, I didn't even wear my fucking vest. So again, tell your special teams, tell your team leader at least, you don't need to be having some fucking suppressors out here. Seriously. You're not in the stack, man. I got it. You're smiling, but it's fucking stupid. It really is. I served in the U.S. military for 20 years. I started out in 3rd Ranger Battalion, and then I ended up put in an OCS packet, went through officer candidate school, became an officer, went through all that training, and then I was in Hawaii, took a platoon over to Afghanistan, and then from there I became a captain. Went back over as a battle captain in Iraq, came back, and then I went back over in 2010 as a commander at 82nd Airborne. Then I came back, and then I transitioned to what they call functional area, and I became a public affairs officer. So I worked with media and stuff. And then I retired after I got shot in an insider attack in 2014. I was medically retired. Finished up my last 2 years at 3rd Special Forces Group, working with them for communications and public affairs stuff. So I had some really good soldiers there. And then I was medically retired, and then I came back to Minnesota. I've been here for about the last 7.5 years, and I'm just amazed that I don't know why we have Border Patrol in Minnesota. They should be down on the border working cartels, dangerous actual criminals. I don't understand why they're wearing masks everywhere they go now. I don't understand why they're wearing plate carriers, why we have guys here with suppressors. There's no reason for it. It's all to intimidate, and it's because that little dude came here. I'm just kind of trying to figure it out. And I was sitting drinking coffee this morning, and I watched what happened yesterday. I watched the video. That officer should have never drawn his weapon. All he had to do was step up to the right side of that vehicle. She already had her tires turned, and one of them yelled at her to get out, and the other one was going for the door, so she probably got confused. And there was no reason to kill her. Just none at all. And, you know, I coached little soccer kids over here at these soccer fields, and I was like, what are they doing over here by our soccer fields? So I just told my wife, hey, I need to go out and show my face and support Minnesotans, support some of the civilians here, and tell these guys that, their leadership, I don't know what their leadership's telling them, but they shouldn't be telling them to come out here to beat up anybody. Okay, so go back to the fucking border and fucking fight the cartels. That's what you signed up for. That's what Border Patrol signed up for.
Minnesota.
Because that guy right there they want to make a political statement. Trump wants to fucking scare us and intimidate American citizens.
That's right. Oh, we're not.
You guys did it again. There's no reason for Border Patrol to be right here, hanging out at our National Guard Center next to our baseball fields where our kids play baseball. I'm a soccer coach here. I coach kids right over in that field, all those fields. They're terrorizing the population. I was just saying, like, one, in Afghanistan, we never wore masks. I went on 4 deployments. The only time we would wear like a face covering is maybe if it was cold and my guys were on a you were pulling security somewhere, or maybe it was dusty, you wore a shamag or whatever. But we didn't wear masks. Again, this officer is not wearing a mask. He's one of the leaders. That's smart. No one here is going to be going after him. If you're fighting the actual cartels and you're on the border, fine. If you want to protect your identity, totally makes sense. But they're wearing all this gear for no reason. This is coming from the top. They shouldn't have. They should have low vis, bulletproof vests, or they should wear their fucking vests underneath a smock. If you're going to be doing this, ICE should not be running around. None of these guys should be running around in plate carriers against civilians. And they just got this huge budget, so why are they not wearing low vis stuff? You know, it just makes no sense. It's here to intimidate everyone here, and they're trying to get. And then obviously Bovino. I mean, I don't know what he was doing. He took some glamour shots with a trench coat, and they're just trolling people. Yeah, he took it with a trench coat to look like he was some SS officer. Literally, I was just like, I'm a history guy. I studied history, European history, World War II, and then as an officer, we studied a lot of history in the military. When I was at Captain Maneuver Career Course, we studied history. I mean, come on, you don't do this. I'll be honest. In Afghanistan, there's a thing called Pashtunwali. You know, if you came in and you intimidated the local populace like this and you beat up a bunch of people, they would hit back. That's how it works there. Americans are just very nice. They're out here protesting. Again, if these guys weren't here, none of these people would be here. The other thing is, ICE needs to be observed. So if you got bystanders who are trained, which I've seen, I haven't gone to any training, but I've seen flyers for it. You go to training and you're there to document what they're doing. And yeah, you shouldn't get in their way, but you're there to document. And so I was trying to figure out, there was no reason for that guy to kill her. It's like, and they showed up one day early. It just is weird. Like, Bovino shows up and then they kill a woman, a young mother, or, you know, middle-aged mother. I'd say young because I'm 53. And there's just no reason for it. And then the training on that guy. And I just think Minnesota needs to indict him and bring him back here, and let's adjudicate that through the system. And because what it sounds like is the federal, I don't know, I hope the federal DOJ fucking prosecutes him, and they should. And I watched that video at least 30 times yesterday. I was incensed this morning. I haven't come out to this stuff. I don't come out to this. I've gone to one. I went to one protest with my wife. It's not that I support. I'm definitely a DFLer and Minnesotan. You know, on my Facebook, I let everyone know I'm an ex-communicator from the military, so I know how to communicate. I'm going to tell you like it is, and usually I'm dropping about 10 F-bombs, but since I'm talking to you guys, I'll try not to. But I just think there's no reason for plate carriers. There's no reason for all the, as they call it, in Rangers we called it the Gucci gear. You don't wear Gucci gear to talk to civilians. When I was in Afghanistan and I was going in to talk to the civilians as a commander at 82nd Airborne, we took off all of our gear, put it in the truck, all of our combat gear, no mask, in the truck, and most of my soldiers did too, other than the local perimeter. And then we went and talked to the local leader, the local mayor in Afghanistan, as you call him, because we were trying to create a partnership. And you don't gain partnership by coming out here and sending all your dudes with plate carriers. And we got guys with silencers over here. Okay, if they're the special ops team or they're the special reaction team, they should be back in the parking lot. They shouldn't be showing their stuff. There's no reason for that. They're doing it to intimidate a bunch of old people. I'm 53. There's a lot of old people out here. We're incensed because somebody came in here who's untrained and he could have got out of the way. All he had to do is take a step out. There's no reason for him to try to. They're told. I watched on CNN where somebody read the DHS standard operating procedure, or what we call an SOP, and it said you do not block vehicles. You don't shoot at vehicles going away from you. You look at her tires. I told everyone yesterday. I said all you got to do to know that she wasn't charging him was her tires are fully turned, and she was trying to just get around that car on the right side. And that officer came around, and then because he was too close or he stepped into the vehicle, he had his weapon out. He shot her for no reason. And then it was like he went after her. Like he was chasing her to kill her.
She was waving to go.
Yeah, before she was, yeah. So again, I watched that. I was incensed. I said that is just wrong. And then the problem is it makes all these guys look bad. And there's probably good people here. There's good people in the programs. Okay, what we know about ICE in the past is they went and actually got bad people. The other thing is the problem is it's not these guys either. This administration, the Democrats and Republicans, you can say both. We haven't taken care of, our Congress hasn't settled the immigration issue. And they screamed Biden let all these people in. Well, one, they lied a lot, so we can't really trust all their numbers. And then they break down our organizations, they break down our government. So then our government isn't like, people don't trust the government. Why are you doing that? The goal is these guys want to have trust. Their moms and dads, and they work. How do you do? I don't understand why you would break trust with your own civilians.
Let me ask you, do you believe that all this chaos is
on purpose?
For Trump to invoke the insurrection?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I thought yesterday. I was like, I don't know. I would like to have been in the team room before those guys went out, and some of these guys, and I'd like to hear what the team leaders and some of these leaders are telling the foot soldiers, as we say. It's okay, so we have a thing in the military called commander's intent. Okay, so if I go into a village and I say, hey, listen up, we're going in, we're doing an aid package, we got these vet techs and these doctors, and we're going to go in and work with their animals and the people, and we're going to do a med cap or something. I don't tell my soldiers, hey, you need to go in, make sure you show force, I want you to be, cover everything, we're going to go in hard, we're going to do this. No, I'm going to say, hey, listen, we're going into a civilian village. Intel is telling me, these guys have intel people. It tells them these are all civilians. They probably know who some of that stuff. But you don't tell them, hey, we're going to go in there and do this. You give a commander's intent that's like, hey, we're going to go into this area. We're going into a village. We're doing a med cap and to work with medical, whatever. We're going to be helping them. So I need you guys, make sure you're not looking intimidating. Let's do everything right. I still go through the same battle drills, everything else, like if we were to take contact, but we go in, we take our gear off. I go and talk to civilians with nothing on, just myself with my face. And whenever I went and talked with Shura leaders or local Afghan leaders, there was always Taliban in the crowd. There's always Taliban. And they know who I am. And some of them I knew who they were, kind of knew who they were. But I wasn't afraid. That's my job is here. I'm not. Why are you afraid of civilians? Yeah. I don't think. I think they're being told to do that. There's a couple of them that are brave, or at least they're at least trying to say transparent. Putting a face mask up is not being transparent. You're supposed to be law enforcement. You're supposed to be protecting people. You're supposed to be doing your job. Again, the plate carriers, that must be from high. They should be wearing low-vis body armor underneath smocks. Even the ICE people, I don't remember them wearing all this gear a few years ago, right? They went and got criminals in high-risk areas. Why are they wearing all this stuff? They're wearing shit like they're in the Stack and Ranger Regiment and they're going in on a fucking tier 1 target. These guys aren't with CAG. They're not with anyone. There's some guys that should be like that. They should be highly trained, but they should be on the border fighting the cartels. Why are they here intimidating local Minnesotans? There's no reason.